check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and share.
Welcome, everyone, to Kimberly Speaking Podcast. And today's guest is Miss Rose Thames, coach, author, speaker, and best-selling book expert. Welcome, Miss Rosie.
Thank you so much for having me today, Miss Kimberly.
It's such a pleasure. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am Coach Rosie Thames, and I was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica. Came to the United States in 2000, joined the military shortly thereafter, and honorably served my country for 20 years. I retired in July of 2021, and since then, I've been enjoying my retirement life, but I've been really pursuing my passion of helping women to unleash their voice, to discover their purpose, to impact the world, and dominate with their story.
Okay, so you are the founder and the CEO of Growing to Greatness Empire and the creator of the bestsellers Unleashed coaching program. So that program is where you were talking about as far as helping young women.
Yes, that's the program that my signature program actually that I created to help women, high achieving women of faith. So both young and, mature women to write their books and tell their story.
Okay, so what brought about this passion? Like, how long have you had this passion? Was this something that you wanted to do since you were younger, or when did it come about?
Wow, so great story. My passion of telling my story and writing a book started back, right when I was getting ready to retire the military. I was in a network marketing business and I had leadership roles. So I had to go on stage and talk and tell my story. And the more I tell my story, the more, I heard from people that, Rosie, your story inspired me. But here's the thing, believe it or not, even though I had opportunity to speak on stage in front of tens and thousands of people, I was nervous. Okay. I had a fear of speaking. And so while I wanted to tell my story, I wanted to better myself. I wanted to improve that skill of telling my story, whether it's speaking or in whatever form. So in the midst of me doing that, I really heard God tell me, I want you to tell your story. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm already on stage talking. What do you want me to do? And I had this knowing within that he wanted me to write it.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I got that insight, that knowledge of, okay, God wants me to write my story, I'm like, okay, God, well, I don't know how I'm going to write a book, because when I think about an author, all I can think about, you got to be like the president of the United States. You got to be like T. Jakes, Joyce Myers, Joel Osteen, those people that are celebrities and famous. I didn't think that somebody like me could write and publish a book. So what I did was I put it on my dream board. I'm like, okay, God, I feel you. I hear you. You want me to tell my story. So I put it on my dream board and I let it sit. And believe it or not, what really drove me to get to the point of writing and publishing books was one day I was just cleaning my house and I saw this thing on my nightstand. And when I opened it up, it was a book my daughter created. And let me tell you what she did. She got paper at the printer. She took printer paper, right? And she created the cover. I wish I had it with me because she drew a picture of a little girl terrified, right? Because she was bullied in the first grade. So she wrote her story and it's titled My Bully Story. And she wrote her story in that book. She stapled it together. And it so happened to be on my nightstand. And when I looked at it, I said, it was like a slap in the face.
Wow.
Saying to me, Rosie, really?
Yes.
You are confused and worried about how you're going to tell your story and write a book. And your daughter just showed you.
Wow.
Right? Just be creative. And when I saw that, I said, okay, God, I got it. I hear you. And I reached out. I knew I needed help. So I reached out to, actually, a friend of mine called me, and there was an anthology, which is a book collaboration going on. And she said, Rosie, I've been watching you on Facebook. there's an anthology, and I didn't even know what anthology was. I was like, what? Antholo, what? And she said, yeah, there's a book collaboration. I want you to check it out. I think you should take it in that format. And I was like, okay. And so I checked it out. And that's how I told my story in a book called Lift, Launch, Lead. It was 20 women. And I wrote one chapter, which was so easy because all I had to do was one chapter, submitted my chapter. That's it. I didn't have to worry about putting the whole project together and editing and all that stuff that comes with writing and publishing a book. So that's what I did. And I loved that experience. I learned so much about writing and telling your story. And I did a couple other projects after that, Unstoppable Black Woman and Empowerment. Right. And after that, I was like, okay, I want to go solo. I want to do my own book project. So I sought help. I got a coach, and my coach helped me to see my worth and my value and let me know that, you can do this, girl. You can not only write and publish your book, you can get to bestseller. And so I was like, okay, I believe you. Let's do it. And we did that thing, and we got my title to bestseller on Amazon. And since 2020, it was in 2020, that's when I started to do my solo thing and launched, published my book. And after that, I've been helping clients because they see what I did and they want to know how you do it, Rosie. Just like I did. I was like, how you do it? How does someone write and publish a book? So that's what I've been doing since 2020. And so it was just a perfect segue after retiring to just go straight into my coaching program.
Wow, that is awesome. So I know we met at the Master Storyteller Academy with Andy and all those great people. And I love to just kind of give them a shout out because it was just a great platform, I feel like, for people who, want to tell their story, feel like they are called to tell their story, but don't know how to do it, want to be effective and want, to monetize that. So that was really a great platform, and I met so many great people. So at 19, you received a scholarship and you had a dream of becoming a pilot.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So I know I have some really audacious goals. I don't know where.
That's awesome. It is awesome. I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So yes, please tell me about that.
Yes. So when I was living in Jamaica as a little girl, I can tell you where that dream of flying came from. So living in Jamaica on this little island, and I love Jamaica, by the way, but a lot of our dreams, I believe, a lot of the folks that live out there, their dream is to travel, right? Now, not everybody has the opportunity to travel like that, especially back in the day. So when I used to look up in the sky and see an airplane, I'm like, I'm going to be in that one day, and I'm going to go places, okay?
I know that's right.
So I always had a dream of flying, like being in an airplane or something. So when I was in high school, I had an opportunity to fly, and it was so weird how it happened. I actually repeated 10th grade because I was distracted with boys, with a boy in 10th grade, and my mom was not happy. She was like, "You're not ready for 11th grade." In Jamaica, 11th grade is when you finish high school. You graduate.
Oh, really?
11th grade, yes. So she was like, "Girl, you're not ready for this. You're not prepared."
Oh, wow.
So she had me repeated the 10th grade, and of course, I felt devastated by that, ashamed and everything like that. But had it not been for that, her making that decision, I would have never had this opportunity. So what happened was I repeated 10th grade, and they had this program in my high school called the Cadet Program. It's like junior ROTC.
Okay, and, I know.
And so with junior ROTC Cadet in Jamaica, they have this program built in where one of your star performer can do this course, and if they pass the ground school course of flying, if they pass that, then they could go on to the actual flying portion of it. So I was like, why not? Why
Wow.
not, right? My parents didn't have to
That's
send me
awesome.
to a real, not real, but
Yeah.
send
Like
me to.
aviation school. Yeah.
So this opportunity was like, hey, let's jump all over it. And so that's what I did. And I passed the ground school portion of it. I'm like, oh, look at that. And then
Wow.
going to the actual flying portion of it. And
Mhm.
that was an experience. And yes, I did get my license at the age of 19. And that's the story.
Oh
So you
gosh,
see,
that is awesome.
I would have missed an opportunity
Yeah, absolutely.
if I didn't have a setback. And it taught me a lot of
Yeah.
lessons in life.
Yeah,
Setback is just a setup for a comeback, because
that's right. That's right.
you would have missed that completely.
Wow. That's awesome. That's the perfect example of all things work together for the good. Like, you didn't want to do that. It was like you said, you were devastated and, you felt like it was a negative thing, but it was actually God setting you up for that opportunity. So that's just awesome.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. So, and you served in the United States Air Force, which is probably, because of your love of flying that led you to go into that branch.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when I came to the United States, I was like, opportunity land, I was like, yay, my dream is
Yeah.
reality. And I
Yeah.
remember when I first came to the United States, I was just trying to get
Wow.
acclimated. I was in New York, Bronx, New York.
Yeah.
And I moved to
Okay.
Brooklyn. And I started working here and there, but I got an opportunity to work with my cousin at a law firm in Manhattan. It was right next to the World Trade Center, actually. And
Oh, wow.
law firm, and they have the New York Times. And in the New York Times was an ad for the Air Force, right?
What?
And they said, oh, you could go to college for free and you could go to
Mm-hmm.
Aeronautical University. And I'm like, wow, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I'm like, yes, girl, it was like everything. And I was signed up for the Air
Wow.
Force. But needless to say, my career path in the Air Force did not end up leading me to pursuing my dream of being a commercial pilot or a fighter pilot or an
Yeah.
Air Force pilot, because as an immigrant, you have to be a citizen to become an officer.
Oh.
You have to be a citizen
Okay.
to become an officer, and then when you're an officer, that's how you fly. So I wasn't
Yeah.
a citizen. That took me 5 years to achieve being a citizen.
Wow.
And so things just changed. Life just took me on this path, this meandering path, but God knows what He
Yeah.
was doing all along. So
Yeah.
there's no complaining
Absolutely.
about that.
So you said it took you 5 years to get your status. Like, how tedious was that?
So, so it wasn't really tedious for me. And
Okay.
here's the reason why. Because when I joined the military, 9/11
Mhm.
happened. When 9/11 happened,
Mm.
President Bush allowed immigrants. So typically the time frame would have been 5 years. Then
Mhm.
he made it right when the war started. He changed the rules, and he made it where it
Mhm.
was like within 3 years or something like that.
Okay.
So right during that time when he changed it, I was able to apply. So you take a test, basically a citizenship test. You have to answer some questions.
Oh, okay.
A lot of American citizens are not able to answer those questions. Just FYI.
I'm sure. Listen, I'm
That's what
sure.
I heard. But yeah,
Oh,
answer those
wow.
questions and swear in and everything. And
Mhm.
that's how the process went. But it was a moment for me to become an American citizen. That was one of the
Wow.
huge accomplishments, to say the least.
Yeah, that's great. Now, how often did you go back to visit? Do you still have family there, like, or has all your family migrated here since then, or?
No, ma'am. So I have quite a few family in Jamaica. Actually, my
Oh,
older sister is there. My nieces,
okay. Mhm.
Hello. If they ever watch the
I
show,
know, right?
Rania. I have my sister, my nieces, my nephew, aunts,
Okay.
and uncles out there. My dad is here in the States. I have a younger
Okay.
sister. She's in Pennsylvania, Tanya. And then my brother
Mhm.
actually moved here. Him and his wife and 2 kids. They
Okay.
are like 20 minutes from me here in San
Oh,
Antonio.
that's awesome.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we're here in the States, and a
Uh-huh.
good portion is in Jamaica. So I do go home
Okay.
frequently. I
Okay.
was there in November. I was
Oh,
there.
okay. That's great. Okay. All right. So, tell me about your background in network marketing. I see that you and your husband started an organization, multiple six-figure business, teaching people, helping them with financial literacy, how to build generational wealth, and, just building legacy. So, tell me more about that.
Okay. So while I was a young airman, and this was back in 2006, I want to say.
Mhm.
I was at Charleston Air Force Base. One of my mentors introduced me to this really
Mhm.
amazing company, network marketing company. Team National was the name of the company, and
Okay.
it it was just a unique concept. And I was not foreign to network marketing. I was in Mary Kay right before this opportunity came.
Wow.
So I was actually being introduced to this world of entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
having your own business, etc.
Yeah.
And so this concept was so unique. It involved a savings
Mhm.
membership where you become a part of a large group, and you have access to different services that you can,
Oh, okay.
discounted price, and things of that nature. And then when you share this
Mhm.
concept, they also pay you for that and pay you very well.
Mm.
So we got really good sharing that concept and
Okay.
and helping people build their team. So we had
Okay.
thousands of people on our team, and growing that team for 14 years until the pandemic. Pandemic did a lot
Hmm.
of damage to businesses.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, so we were able to mentor and lead a lot of people, help them build their own organization. And
Okay.
from that, we were promoted within the ranks of
Yeah.
that company. And so, yes, in 2020, we became the first Black couple to ever reach the top level in that company and won the
Oh,
E.
awesome. Okay, okay.
So that's,
So,
oh, sorry.
okay. So I know that you said your passion is in helping young women. Did that start when you were in Jamaica, or as went through your various business ventures, did that come about then?
So my passion to help young women started when I was in the military. Actually, I
Okay.
supervised young
Oh,
women
okay.
in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I held leadership role when I was in the Air
Mm-hmm.
Force as well. So that's where a lot of that come from, the
Okay.
mentoring, the
Yeah.
leadership, and
Okay.
just helping people, get to the level that they
Yeah.
want to get to. So that's where
Okay.
that came from. And as I grow and become a part of this company,
Mm-hmm.
it develops even further, that
Okay.
passion of helping and leading and guiding people to get to the level and the goal that they want to get to.
Yeah. Okay. So now your company, you help them with um any and everything from writing, mentoring, like I said, just helping them to develop their entrepreneurial skills. Do you do workshops? Like what all do you offer within that?
So with the company that I have built now with the writing and publishing, what I
Hmm.
do is I help people craft their story and
Okay.
in a written format.
Okay.
So typically when I'm working with a client on their book, I make sure they keep within the context of the story that they're telling. So I have
Okay.
to teach
Yeah.
them a lot on how to write the story, how to craft it, to pull out the stories that they need to tell, and so it's almost similar to what we learn in
like in the
Storyteller Academy, right? Like you have to make a point when you're telling a story, and when you're telling a story, you make a point. So that's pretty much I harp that, and so I help them with the writing phase, keeping them accountable, because one of the things about writing and publishing a book, while it's simple, it's not always simple. If you don't have somebody to guide you and coach you are not going to get it done. So it's one of those things where you absolutely need somebody to help you on that journey. And I'm not saying that because I'm a coach, but I'm saying that that's me. If I didn't have somebody to coach me and guide me and keep me accountable, I would have never accomplished that goal and that dream. Okay. So I would have been on the dream board still hanging up. Okay? Like, okay, girl, next time.
I totally agree. Me as well. Like writing that book, and someone asked me, I think it was, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, I was talking to someone and they were asking me about writing my book. And I was like, man, it was a process. Like I, procrastinated, to say the least. Stopping and starting and stopping and starting, picking it back up and just trying to get focused enough to complete it. It was really hard, especially while, life was going on throughout the years, and I was telling her it wasn't until COVID where I was actually able to sit down and actually finish it. And, went through a company that helped me, to do all that stuff, because it's so much that it entails, and you just need someone that has been through the process or knows the process, to help you. So I feel like it's definitely needed, especially for those out there who feel like they have a story to tell, but they don't know how to get started. They don't know what to do, how to do it. It's needed. So it's definitely a needed service, I feel like. Yeah. So what are you working on now? What is current?
Wow. Okay. I do have quite a few things going on. So right now I am actually working on a project, Woman Rise Special Mom Edition. So I did Woman Rise, the first of its kind, in 2023. It was published. We started in 2022, and it's actually an anthology. I am a huge fan of anthologies because there's so many benefits to it, especially as first-time authors, right? Where you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about the entire project. You don't have to burden the entire project. All you do is submit your chapter, 1,500 words, 2,500 words, whatever it is. That's it, right? So I love the concept of doing a book collaboration. So I did a book collaboration with 20 other women. I was the visionary for that. I don't have the book next to me, but Woman Rise, and Les Brown actually did a forward on that book. He endorsed that project. And so the book was about resilience and turning your adversity into your advantage. And
awesome.
That experience was wonderful because I do believe that everyone has a story to tell. I mean, once you're born into this world, you have a story. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's first and foremost. And people, I love to help people recognize that, because sometimes you feel like, well, I don't have a story. Some people will say they don't have a story, or they don't believe that their story is worth telling. And yes, story is worth telling. You have to help them believe in that, to believe in their story and in themselves. And that's what my coach did for me. Helped me see that my story was worth telling. And the same thing that he did for me is what I'm doing for others. So right now, the next project that I'm working on is the Woman Rise Special Mom Edition, because I asked you earlier before we started, if you hear a little one in the background, my son, LeBron, was diagnosed with autism right around two going on 3. And, being a special mom, it's a challenge. It gives me another level of respect for parents who raise special needs kids. And so I wanted to capture that. I wanted to team up with, other women who are living this life, who have this experience. And I want them to have the ability to share their story. Like, for instance, when I took my son to Jamaica for the first time, I learned so much about traveling with a special needs child.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Any child. It doesn't have to be. Listen,
girl,
it's rough. It's rough.
any child, but with a special
Yeah.
needs child, it is
Yeah.
on the level. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I wish I'd known this. Why didn't somebody tell me this? But a lot of times it's
Wow.
my experience. But what I want to do is to have this resource for other special needs moms so
That's
they can
good.
write stories and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I learned this.
Yeah.
I've been linking up with other moms. I have a friend, Keisha, and her child, her son is 23. And she told me so much about her experience.
Wow.
And she shared that with me. I'm like, okay, now I can do this because I remember Keisha telling
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So it's just to help people to not believe that they're in it by themselves and they're going through this struggle all by themselves, because there are other people who have been there, and your
Yeah.
story, my story, can be somebody else's survival guide.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
what I want to do with this project.
Oh man, that is awesome. You're definitely gonna have to give us all the information, all your links, websites, social media. And I'll tag that stuff as well with this episode so people can find that. And if anyone wants to, link up with you for their project, they'll be able to contact you. So I really feel like what you're doing is awesome. Everything that you have going on it's really awesome. It's just really needed. And it's just so good to network with people who are, out here, just building the kingdom, helping people.
Amen.
Just providing those services, providing support, providing mentorship, all those things, resources. It's so important because a lot of people have these ideas, these passions, these callings, and they don't know how to get started. They don't know what to do. They don't know like you said, they're encountering something where they feel like they're alone. But when you link up with other people, like that's strength, that's power. So, and it's knowledge, and knowledge is power. So I feel like it's awesome. And I definitely wanted to highlight that, once I met you, I was like, man, I got to get her on the podcast. Like, she's doing great things. She's out here helping people. You're just a woman empowerment leader. So I just really wanted to just say that to you. And I'm grateful that you're able to share everything that you have going on with people. And I just hope that this brings, awareness to what you're doing, your causes, and everything that you have going on. So you're on Facebook, Instagram. You have a website.
So I am on Facebook as Coach Rosie Thames, and
Okay.
also Instagram as the best-selling book expert and Coach Rosie Unleashed. That's what I'm going by Coach Rosie Unleashed these days because I'm kind of rebranding myself, and that's because of personal experiences where I felt within the past year going through a very personal, like I said, experience, and I felt like my voice was silenced from telling my story. And I said, oh no, I am unleash my voice and tell my story. So now I'm going by Coach Rosie Unleashed, but the website is coming out is under maintenance right now. And hopefully I can get it out within the next couple months. But I'm just so excited because I could see this baby that I'll say me and the Lord, because it's not just me. I'm
yes,
telling you,
absolutely.
it's me and the Lord. But I could see this thing just growing and developing, and it's just amazing what God is doing through me to impact the lives that I'm called to serve. So, yes.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on today. I've learned so much just by listening to you myself. So I just think it's awesome, and I'll definitely be, referring you to anyone that I come in contact. Like I was saying, I was speaking to a young lady yesterday, and she has an awesome story, and she was telling me, I was like, oh my gosh, girl, like that's a book. Like you need to get this information. You need to put it down. She was like, yes, I really want to. So I may be, connecting her with you so you can help her to get all that stuff situated.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So Make sure you shoot me all your book links so I can put that with the episode so people can go out there and get your books and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I just wanted to thank you again for coming on today. You're welcome anytime. Please let us know, keep us, informed of all the things you have coming up. I definitely want to support. And if I can, get awareness out there or, put that out there in any way, I'll be definitely glad to do that.
Wonderful. And I really appreciate you, Kim, to have me on today and sharing this moment. I know you're doing some amazing things as well, and just giving people an opportunity to, giving them the exposure on this platform. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you taking time out to talk to me today and just, knowing more about me and me knowing about you. So awesome. And oh my gosh, like, I just know that God has greater things for us to do.
Yeah.
His kingdom. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
Amen. Amen. Me too, honey. All right, guys. Well, as always, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share to my YouTube channel. Until we speak again, be blessed.
Bye.